Hey everyone, so this past weekend I went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We had one date night. We had to narrow it down. It was between this and Hobbs and Shaw, and we're both huge Tarantino fans. So we went with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood despite having heard mixed reviews. Now, I'm going to let you guys know what we thought about this movie. I'm Tessa with mamasgeeky.com. It was amazing. This movie is so good. If you're a Tarantino fan, you're going to love this movie. I mean, it's classic Tarantino. You even get the dirty feet, which is so gross, but it's like his thing. Obviously, he's in feet because he puts dirty feet in everything. But you get the talking to the camera, like something's going on, they stop. Oh, and then a narrator explains, which the narrator's Kurt Russell in this, and he's amazing. I've interviewed him before. He's the nicest guy. I absolutely adore him, so I was thrilled for him to be in this. But Leonardo DiCaprio, killed it. He absolutely killed it. Him and Brad Pitt, their bromance throughout this whole thing was just absolutely phenomenal. Now I have a full written review over at mamasgeeky.com if you want to check that out. But I'm going to tell you guys some stuff. There's going to be spoilers though, so just be warned. If you haven't seen this movie yet and you don't want spoilers, then just maybe stop now and come back later. So first of all, going into this, we both kind of thought, my husband and I both kind of thought, oh, this is about the Manson murders, right? That's what everyone kind of knew. Sharon Tate's in it, so you're like, okay, it's about the Manson murders. That's cool. I can see that. It's not, though. It's not. There's very little about it, about Charlie Manson, and you see him, I think, you see him once, and it's for I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, maybe. But you do see his whole kind of following, and you get them at the ranch, which was kind of creepy. Definitely a little creepy. You just see all the people and they're berating Cliff, which is Brad Pitt's character. But it was so good though. You expect to have the brutal, crazy murders at the end, and you get brutal, crazy murders at the end, but it's not what you think you're gonna get. And I loved it, and I was here for it. Now, a few times they mentioned this famous scene that Leonardo DiCaprio's character Rick Dalton had in a movie with a flamethrower, and it's really super cool. And he talked about how he practiced the flamethrower himself, and you even see the flamethrower in his shed later on in the movie. Didn't expect it to come up the way it came up, but it was pretty amazing. So basically, you've got Charlie Manson's followers. You've got 4 kids. One of them takes off. It's actually the girl from Stranger Things, the Scoops Ahoy girl, Robin, who I thought was amazing. She was good in this. She was quick, but very good. But anyway, she takes off, so you get the other 3. One of the girls is from the show Better Things. If you haven't seen that show, you're missing out. Check it out. It's really super good. But so they decide to break into Rick Dalton's house instead of Sharon Tate's house. They say, Charlie told us to go in and kill everyone at Sharon Tate's house, at Terry's old house. We're not going to do that. You know what? That was Rick Dalton. And by the way, they're the ones who taught us to be murderous and violent, because his show was murderous and violent. So let's go kill him instead. So they break in, and Rick's in the back. Leo's in the back with his headphones on, chilling in the pool. And Cliff is there. And Cliff is high. He's all messed up. He's got his dog, who's awesome, by the way. And they come in, and he's like, what's going on? Hey, I remember you guys. Oh, this is funny. They're holding a gun to him. And he just whistles or whatever. He doesn't even whistle. I think he goes or something to the dog. And the dog just attacks the one guy. And it turns into this crazy mess. And the entire audience was dying laughing. This girl gets hit in the face with a can of dog food. And her face is so messed up. She's got bones popping out of it and everything. He takes this other girl and he starts slamming her head against the fireplace and the table. And she's just a mess. And then the one girl whose face got crushed by a dog food can runs outside to see Leo out there. And he's freaking out. And he goes and gets his flamethrower and just torches her. And it was so funny. And then he gets invited over by Sharon Tate, hey, what's up? Oh my God, it's Rick Dalton. I'm so excited that I live next to you. And it was oh, and then it goes Once Upon a Time, ... in Hollywood. So you know that, this was just a story, right? It's not real. It's a very, very loose take on what actually happened. They twist history, and it was amazing. But throughout the whole thing, it was so good because you're following Rick Dalton, who was this amazing actor, and now his show is canceled and he's taking these mediocre roles in all these movies or TV shows. Like he's just in this TV show and he's playing the heavy, right, the bad guy who's going to get beat, and it's just, so he ends up going to Italy, I think it is, to star in some movies over there. And they joke that he gained 15 pounds and he comes home with a new Italian wife, and then him and Cliff aren't going to be able to he's not going to be able to afford Cliff anymore because Cliff's his stunt double, but like really he works for him still and he drives him around places. And I absolutely loved their bromance. Them together they were just fantastic. I mean, they're both phenomenal actors, but to be together like that, oh man, they were so good. They were so good. And Margot Robbie was so good as Sharon Tate, even though we didn't see that much of her. She was just fantastic. Kurt Russell's in it real quick. Al Pacino. I mean, we've got some amazing, amazing talent in this movie. Amazing talent in this movie. And it's so good. And you've got dual storylines. Like I said, you're seeing a little bit of Sharon Tate, and then you're seeing Rick Dalton. You're seeing his journey. And one of my favorite absolute parts, and we see it in the trailer, is when he's mad at himself, first of all, because he forgot his lines earlier in the day. So he's doing this scene with this little girl who was like earlier on set reading a Walt Disney biography, which I thought was amazing. But anyway, he's on set and she's like, "That's the best acting I've ever seen." And he just starts crying because he's beating himself up. He's said a few times already, like he knows he's a has-been, and he's in his head about it. So it was really awesome to see. But this whole movie, I know I'm rambling and I'm all over the place. I'm like a Quentin Tarantino movie myself. But no, it's just so good and it's so worth watching, and I absolutely loved it. And I said this in my written review and my quote on Rotten Tomatoes, but I said any movie that can make the audience laugh that hard at pure violence deserves an award, because my entire theater was cracking up during that fight scene at the end, because you're like, I don't know what's going on. This is insane. And then he torches that girl. Like he torched her. He fried her to a crisp. It was crazy. It was nuts, man. It's such a good movie. It's like 3 hours long and it flew by for us. I looked at my watch and I thought we had an hour left. I was shocked when the time was ending. I was like, that's not right. Oh my gosh, it is. This movie is ending. It's been that long already. It's so good. I wanted to go right back in and watch it again. I know I'm going to see it again. I can't wait for all the little things that I missed. And I just can't wait to watch it from the beginning again, knowing what's going to happen. It's so good. It's so good. I give it easily a 4.5 out of 5. Maybe even more. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you've seen it, what you think. If you haven't seen it, do you plan on seeing it? Sorry for all the spoilers. And yeah, be sure to give me a thumbs up. You can always follow me over on Instagram and Twitter as well. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. Check me out at mamasgeeky.com. That's where my full written review of this movie is. I will also link that down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for taking the time to watch this.